Good morning to everyone. I can see a lot of gifts dito sa harap. So, it will be a day of blessings to many of you, at least material blessings. So, but before I give my, hindi naman to preaching, no? Maybe experience or knowledge sharing with you. Because I don't preach to pastors. No? That's too big a task for me. Let me invite you to a verse in the Bible. Proverbs 16, verse 20. It says, He that handleth a matter wisely shall find good, and whoso trusted in the Lord, happy is he. He that handleth a matter wisely shall find good, and whoso trusted in the Lord, happy is he. Let's pray. Panginoon, salamat pong muli at pinahintulutan niyo po akong pumunta dito at makapagsalita. Thank you so much, Lord, for the privilege this morning. I ask for your forgiveness for the sins that I've done, and I ask that I'll be a channel of your blessings this morning, even as I give a short message, Lord, about what have you done in my life and also in this church. May bless thou this topic, Lord, as I deliver it, and may give me wisdom and the fluency of speech. These things I ask in Jesus' name. Amen. Be seated po. Before I was asked by our beloved pastor to give some pointers in terms of financial management in the church context. And I think a good number of you have attended yung previous Antioch conferences and other conferences that we had in this church. So these things that I will be giving you, these are not new to you. But siguro, sometimes, di ba, we look back to the outlines that we have and assess, di ba? How have I done since I first heard that message? Diba? Naalala ko ba yan o nung narinig ko, okay lang yan, then the following day nakalimutan ko na. Sometimes we go back to those messages, no, that we have jot down and ask ourselves, okay, naalala ko ba to? Ano bang commitment nung ginawa ko when I heard this message? How did I perform after hearing that message? Okay. Kasi hindi lang sabi sa Bible, we will not just be hearers of the word, no? But doers. Di po ba? So parang ano din yan sa opisina namin, ang year-end po namin June 30, hindi December 31. So ngayon medyo busy kami in terms of performance evaluation ng mga staff, ng mga partners. No? So involved po ako dyan dahil sa position ko ngayon. So ini-evaluate namin usually early during the fiscal year, so July, August, nagsiset ng goals, no? Nagdi-discuss. Ito yung goals for the year. And then towards the end of the year, ni-revisit, no? O ito yung goals, paano ka nag-perform during the year. Diba? Para din po sa ating buhay Kristiyano, narinig natin yung message, nag-commit tayo, lumapit pa tayo sa harapan, lumuhod, nag-commit sa Panginoon, Lord, thank you for this message. This is what I commit to do. But syempre, meron ding assessment, okay? Maybe a few months after, i-assess natin, okay, yung commitment kong ginawa sa Panginoon dahil narinig ko yung message na to, nagawa ko ba? Diba? Kasi ang success ng Antioch Conference will be really measured based on changes that will happen after. Diba? Pag bumalik po kayo sa respective places ninyo, kung meron kayong napulot dito at sana marami kayong napulot, naisagawa po ba yan? Okay. Otherwise, kung attend din lang kayo dito tapos wala ring mangyayari, wala ring improvement, then yung success, yung resources that you spend and also the efforts that you spend coming here will not be may not be worth it. Okay, of course, coming here, hindi lang naman yun ang mini-measure natin, kundi yung how you are refreshed because you're in fellowship with one another, di ba? Iba yun, intangible din yun. But we hope that once you're back, after attending this conference, no, that you are refreshed, invigorated, you have new ideas that you will take with you when you go to your respective mission field, and it will bring forth fruits. No? Yung fruits that would amount to changes and improvements in your respective ministries. Yun po ang prayer ng aming pastor, at yun din po ang prayer ng church na to, that we can make a difference in other churches, so that the blessings that are given to us by the Lord, hindi lang po blessing in terms of material, but blessings in terms of the experience and the knowledge that and the wisdom that the Lord has given this church, okay, are also passed on to other churches. Hindi nahohoard, no? Churches are supposed to be channels of blessings. And when you say blessings, hindi lang po yung material, kundi yung knowledge that is passed on. Okay? Kasi kung parang Bible din po yan, di ba? But nandito yung Bible. Para yung knowledge, wisdom of the Lord is passed on up to this generation. Same thing with what we hope that you got attending this Antioch conference, that the knowledge and the experience and the observation. Diba? I'm sure that you're here also to observe how we do things. Diba? So that you don't need to experiment. Okay? You don't need to do it by trial and error. Okay? Sabi mo, nagawa nila dun eh. And this is how they did it. So hindi na kayo mag-start sa zero. You have a pattern to follow, and in the process, you avoid committing a lot of mistakes. Kasi if we commit mistakes, it means also wasted resources. And resources are very precious, no? And especially when we think about resources of the Lord. We don't want to commit mistakes. We want to learn from the experience of the past. Okay, kahit sa Bible, no, we learn from the sins of those people, so that we avoid doing that. So, but before I give this lecture, let me just give a short testimony. So I've been in this church for almost 32 years. No? I got saved in 84, and then joined this church in 85 when I was still in college. No? And the pastor has been, and I saw the pastor, how he was hands-on in terms of dealing with the young people at that time. No? Although I don't consider myself as yung belonging to the first generation of BYIR, siguro mga nasa second na kami, but still, nandun pa rin siya, and he would meet with us, no? Even pagkatapos ng service, no? Meet the young people, okay? If we need to be rebuked, he will do that. If we need to be encouraged, he will do that. And there's always that special touch. And yung pong investment niya in the young people, as you can see, has paid off. No? Yung mga young people in the past are the pillars of this church, no? Supporters of the pastor, and also the financial base of the pastor. So while it may not seem wise at the onset to be spending time with young people who, sabi nga ng iba, na walang pera dati, no? Pero ang vision po na binigay sa aming mga mahal na pastor, long term eh. It's not only on the present, di ba? You have to look long term. I think yun po yung kaibahan sa mga pastor. You have to have that long term view. Hindi naman po nangyari to overnight. Lahat ng to. It takes a lot of toiling, a lot of effort. Okay, so yun ang nakita ko sa mahal na pastor namin. He's really in touch with his people. And even now that we're big, we have a way to still engage our people. We group ourselves into houses, so we can be easily mobilized pag may mga ganitong occasion. Dahil siguro sa investment ni pastor sa tao, pag may mga event na ganito, magbibigay lang siya ng instruction, and parang automatic na. Alam na namin kung anong gagawin. But that was not so in the first place. Hindi, no? Talagang dati, nitty-gritty, i-discuss niya sa amin. Pero sabi nga niya kagabi, di ba, we are no longer boys, we are men. So he treats us like men. So bibigyan ng instruction, and because of the years that he spent with us, training us, showing us his heart and his vision, we know more or less what he wants done. So pag sinabi niyang ganito, alam na namin kung more or less ano yung gusto niya mangyari. So we know how to execute. But that, sabi nga, that is not done overnight. So siguro sa mga bago pang mga gawain, talagang you really have to be hands-on and show the way. Kumbaga, leading by example. Okay? So that alam ng mga tao ninyo, ano ba yung puso ninyo, ano yung gusto ninyo, gaano kapulido dapat yung execution. So dito sa church na to, medyo kabisado na namin si pastor. At kabisado din namin kung siya ay nagagalit, okay, ba't siya nagagalit, okay, naiintindihan namin, kumbaga yung pulso niya na alam na namin . Okay, and that's unique to every church. So, as I've said, 32 years, college, BYI, we were trained to preach. Little did I know yung experience ko sa BYI, I can use in the business world because right now I'm doing a lot of lecture, giving seminars. So at one point nga, sabi ng isang boss ko, kasi he was observing me how I deliver a lecture to a group of NGO. Sabi niya, Wilson, pag nagdi-deliver ka ng lecture mo, para kang nagpe-preach kasi yung isang kamay hawak mo, isang kamay gano'n. So yung training na nakuha namin is also brought up, can be used in the offices and in the sabi nga workplace. So college, we were trained how to witness, how to bring visitors to the church. We have a healthy competition among colleges, sa BYI, and then graduate ako, and by God's grace, I was able to finish my college with flying colors. I was on top of my class. I was very careful with my grades because I belong to a pilot class, and my classmates know that I'm a Baptist. I'm not only a Christian, but I'm a Baptist, and I preach the word every day. Many would try to recruit me for the organization, even fraternity, but said that's not my focus. I have my commitment, which is the BYI. Nandun yung daily routine, pag 12 o'clock, kahit na hindi pa tapos yung lecture ng teacher, sabi ko, I will go. Because 12 to 12:30, that's invitation time. 12:30 to 1, that's preaching time. And then onwards, that's soul winning time. And then come to church. Okay, so in short, kulang yung oras ko. Diba? But sabi ko sa Panginoon, Lord, I'll give my best in this ministry. I'll also give my best in my academics. But don't let my grades go down because sasabihin ng mga kaklase ko, si Wilson kasi masyadong busy. Okay. Whereas they have all the afternoon and evening to prepare. But by God's grace, I was able to get the highest grades, and I finished on top of my class. So, and from there on, I was able to get into SGV. They recruited me even before I graduated. And at first, sabi ko, siguro mga 2 to 3 years lang ako dyan. Ngayon, magto 30 years na ako. So by November, it's my 30th year. In fact, in my first week, I almost wanted to resign, kasi hindi ako sanay sa ganun . Medyo may pagka-introvert ako . So in my field of work, you cannot be introvert. You have to engage people. To be able to extract, auditor, di ba? To be able to extract information, you have to ask questions. You have to ask intelligent questions. You have to ask probing questions. So hindi ako ganun . So but the Lord gave me the wisdom to adjust, and the pastor is always there to give advice. So there were many instances in the past where I was offered very lucrative positions outside. But so sabi ko, Pastor, malaki tong sweldong to. That's 3 times my pay. And I was then only the breadwinner of my family because my father is diabetic and he was diabetic and he got sick. No? But I can still remember that conversation. We were conversing in the choir loft, although I was not a member of the choir. No? Wala akong singing voice. But sabi ko, Pastor, tatlo yung offer. Oh. Lahat, these are good companies and they're offering me 3 times my pay. Sabi niya, pero Wilson, I want you to stay in SGV. Okay, the Lord has a purpose for you. Okay. Sabi ko, nako, sayang yung pera, 3 times my salary. Sabi, sige, Pastor, I will obey. So I stuck it out. And even, so I was assigned, kasi when I first stepped into SGV, sabi ko, Lord, I don't know the dynamics of the workplace. Sino ba naman ako? Kahit Tan ang ipilido ko, hindi naman ako kamag-anak ni Lucio Tan o sinong Tan dyan. No? I belong to the minor branch of the Tan. Diba? So, kumbaga, wala naman akong connection. Sabi ko, so, Lord, as I step into this workplace, in this firm, I know that you're my real boss. I will have human bosses, but you will steer their hearts so that I'll be placed in the right place, at the right time, and all the opportunities so I can excel. And I ask that you put me in positions where I can be an influence, and I can be a good influence for your word. And that, in summary, is what happened to me in SGB. No, I was given the right breaks. No, I was mentored by very good partners. No, very good bosses. I was given a lot of breaks. In fact, in '97, I was sent by SGB to a full scholarship to take my MBA in Switzerland. No? So that's an MBA, and with my salaries being paid. No? So, in fact, I refused to be sent kasi at that time I'm married. Sabi ko sa aking boss, the former finance minister Cesar Purisimo, sabi ko, Cesar, dito na lang ako sa AIM. And AIM is a very good business school. I don't want to go out. No? Kasi I have my family, I have my church here, and so on. Sabi niya, Wilson, you might be covering the same subjects and topics if you go to AIM and not go to IMIDE. But I want you to go out so that you will have a broader perspective. Okay? You will gain that credential of having your MBA outside. Okay? And in fact, kinabahan siya kasi just before I left for my MBA in Switzerland, may offer na naman. Actually, almost every year may offer. Kasi yung offer came from a very, very big conglomerate until now. And the CEO was outside of the country, but he was just waiting for me to say yes, to accept the job. No? But I politely turned it down, and Cesar was, my boss was telling me, Wilson, that offer with a very good, say, car package, yung sasakyan na yan, yung BMW na yan, 5 years from now, luma na yan. But yung MBA, it will be tucked under your belt forever. So, ganun, may mga mentor ako sa work. Of course, ang mentor ko in terms of spiritual life and life itself is the pastor. Okay? So, and of course, my father, my human father. So there are 3 individuals who really influenced me in different aspects of my life. So, in short, I got promoted to partnership. I got admitted to partnership in 2000. And it was not all smooth. May mga challenges, but I can see the handprints of God all over the place, how that He really put me in those places and gave me not only His approval, but helped me to gain the approval of my bosses. Importante yun that you gain the credibility of your bosses so that they know where I stand. They know that hindi ako uminom ng alak, no? So yung boss ko sabi niya, I'll get that for Wilson. He doesn't drink. He drinks milk and juices. And he would not even disturb me during Sunday because he knows that I attend the church. So it pays, yun yung sinasabi ko sa mga kabataan namin dito, it pays that for you to make your position, your stand clear from the onset, rather than hiding it. But it's not easy, no? So I got admitted to partnership, and the Lord put me in positions where these are, kasi the highest in SGV is partner, but within the partnership, may mga role yan eh. And the roles that were given to me, these are roles na hindi siya common. These are roles where I will be consulted. In technical matters, I was assigned to be the head of the technical group. And when I say technical group, pag may mga questions about interpretation, about how to do things, you have to be consulted. So in a way, if you're in that position, automatically yung pagtingin sa iyo iba, kinukonsult yan eh. Walang pwedeng transaksyon na mangyari without his approval. Ganun yan eh. Pag sinabi kong hindi pwede yan, ito dapat ang gagawin, the rest will have to follow. So even as a young partner, I was given that privilege to handle that position. Somehow, the Lord must have whispered to my boss, si Wilson ilagay mo dyan. So at one point, I was having multiple hats. That means I'm wearing a lot of roles. No? I was a line partner. I was handling different services, no, or giving, and I was even given the privilege to start a new service, a new offering in SGB, which is right now making SGB distinct from the competition. And yung nga po, just recently I was given the number 2 position in our office as vice chair and deputy managing partner. Hindi ko ho yun inasam. Okay. If I have a choice, I want to be simple. I just want to be a regular partner. Okay, kahit yung wife ko, tinatanong ako, hanggang saan ka ba dyan? Okay. That means you will have less time for us, no? And the pastor knows it. But I guess the only thing that helped me to be in SGB despite all the pressures is that given the positions that I'm in, I'm able to introduce the gospel in SGB. Okay. In SGB, I think that was 2017 ngayon, no? So I think that started in 2008 when I went to the office of the chairman at the time. I was just an ordinary partner at the time and asked him. Of course, by the time I have earned his confidence, no? Kasi ako nga yung technical head and he depends on me on technical matters. Yung mga complex transactions. So one time I went to his room and said, Boss, can we have this SGV Bible Club? Because anyway, all the lectures that we will be giving will be consistent with the values, the core values of our firm. About integrity, diba? About excellence, about passion, about teamwork. Of course, sa bandang huli, may evangelistic twist yun. Ganoon naman di ba? So from that time on, SGV Bible Club became one of the official people program of our firm. So we can use the facilities. The Bible Club is announced through email. The pastor even and even CRA got invited to speak. Si Pastor Rachel, suki namin yan almost every other month. We have him as our speaker. So we have this monthly Bible Club, and we're able to have a small group study also. Kaya yung mga members namin who took accounting as a undergrad course and passed the CPA exam, automatically we can usher them to to SGB. And I think even other churches, yung mga ibang CPAs nila, I was able to help them get a job. The other night, somebody approached me, and the pastor introduced that to me, and she was from Baguio, from St. Louis University, just passed the exam last May. So I was able to contact our head of the Baguio branch. Sabi ko, meron ba tayong opening dyan? There is this graduate, I want to give her a chance. Anyway, meron naman 6 months probation yan. If she does well, then she gets regularized. And lo and behold, sabi niya, yeah, there's an opening. So sabi ko doon sa bata kagabi, send me the CV. No? Send me your transcript records. Pero ayusin mo yung CV kasi unang tingin ko lang, may nakita na ako mali, so it doesn't speak well. Sabi ko, ayusin mo. I think she'll go back to Baguio today. And then sabi ko, Monday, send the resume to me so that we can process it. So yung ganon. So the positions and the roles that were given to me in that firm has enabled me to also help our members or other churches get a chance. Kasi what SGB can do to an individual is that ang greatest contribution yan is yung people development. Kasi even if you're nobody like me, basta matyaga ka, aakyat ka and then you may not stay long, but after 3 years, you can get 3 times what you're getting. And they know that if you have kumetatak SGB ka, that's a sign of very good quality. You can go places. You're not only limited in the Philippines, but we send our people outside. So, in terms of economic standing, we are able to help a lot of people. So, yun yung aside from the fact that we are able to spread the gospel, no? Every Bible study we average at least 50. Pag busy season, it can go up to 70 or even 100. That is separate from the Makati Bible Club. Okay? Kasi meron yung Bible Club na yan, we call it Bible Club. Yan yung parang version ng BYI but in the workplace. Okay? So we talk to our working people, not necessarily professional but working people. Saan ba kayo nagtatrabaho? Pag merong critical mass sa ganitong place, then we start a Bible study. So we have the SGB Bible Club, we have the Makati Bible Club dyan sa McDonald's where it's a neutral place. We can invite all other workers in Makati to be there. Meron kaming BGC Bible Club, anak na yun ng Makati Bible Club. Okay, meron kami sa Parañaque, meron sa Mandaluyong. So merong yung hindi yung pag nag-graduate na tapos na sa college campus ministry, tapos na rin. So merong continuation of what you're doing in college sa workplace. And you see, we have to, parati sasabi ni Pastor, di ba, you cast the net wide. So ibig sabihin, yung soul winning should also be targeted in all social status of life. No, you want to target those that are in the colleges, yung mga student. You also want to target those that are professional working, kasi they also would be your financial base. No, we've been always told that the church is like also an individual. Dapat meron yan 2 legs to stand on. No? Soul winning, effective soul winning, and cheerful giving. Diba? Kasi pag may effective soul winning ka, kung effective nga yan, ibig sabihin, alam mo kung ano yung tina-target mo, then you have a good mix. You will have a financial base. At the same time, meron kang estudyante na later on will add on to the financial base. So parang din yan just like running your own business, no? You're running the Lord's business. So how will the church be sustained financially? So through soul winning. Diba? Kasi pag hindi mo na soul win yan, hindi mo when you didn't spend too much time on that individual, wala masyadong loyalty yan . Diba? Pag na-offend lang yan dahil sa preaching, alis na yan . Wala siyang investment. Pero pag nag-umpisa kayo, they really know that yung sincerity nyo to spend time with them. Kahit magalit kayo, sabihin, ba't ako alis? Ang dami ko ng investment sa church na to. Diba? Normal naman na magalit si pastor. So maintindihan niya. So, yung effective soul winning, that means effective targeting din yan . Diba? So, kumbaga sa market, kahit sa business, Kunyari, ito, Philippine market. Hindi lahat ng customer tina-target mo. Meron tinatawag ng market segmentation. Pag sabing market segmentation, pinipili mo yung talagang target customer mo, and you advertise for them to get their attention. Okay? Dapat targeted kasi kumbaga para kang jack of all trades, o kaya kung shotgun approach, kung sino lang tamaan. Pero kung may focus, di ba? Firstly, limited yung resources ng church. Limited yung time, limited yung ano. So, kung effective yung targeting, ibig sabihin effective yung soul winning. Di ba? You may follow through. So, pag may effective soul winning, the cheerful giving will follow kasi sabihin you're also teaching them properly. Di ba? At kung may cheerful giving, meron ka namang pang-finance for your effective soul winning. So, it's, di ba? The two complement each other. So, kaya parati sinasabi sa amin ng aming pastor, dalawa lang yan eh. For the church to really walk and run. Effective soul winning and cheerful giving. Okay? If those two key programs are in place, then the church should be okay and should be progressing. So, right now, in my new position, so I'm able to have a greater influence. I just hope that the Lord will use me more, and nandun parati yung temptation when you're at that level already. Not only temptation of the flesh, but temptation to get too busy. Okay. And yun yung challenge at that level of work. But talking about cheerful giving, so let me make a segue to financial management in the church context. In the text that we read a while ago, it says, "He that handleth a matter wisely shall find good, and whoso trusted in the Lord, happy is he." So I kanina while I was sitting there, just a few minutes bago tayo nag-start, I again look at this verse and I noticed the word wisely. No? So I asked myself, why should I handle a matter wisely? Okay. Why should you treat a certain matter wisely? Okay. And I was telling myself, maybe because that matter is important. Because if it's not important, why would you need to treat it wisely? Diba? That matter should be important. And in the context of church finance, the money, the offerings, no, these are quite important. And we have to handle finances of the church wisely. Okay? Wisely because it is precious. Diba? Kaya sinasabi namin, nire-remind namin mga church accountants, yung mga ushers, saka men that would handle the offering after the service. Sabi niya, bantayan niyo yung offering. Okay? Kasi maraming bisita, di ba? Saka kuminsan may mga naiiwan. Sabi namin, saka yung iba, nire-remind ko yung mga church accountant, please be there when it is your duty or your assignment to count. Kasi we are kumbaga the guardians of that offering. No? Nandiyan na yan eh. Baka mawala pa. And those are precious. And those are na, once the money is in that offering box, in that offering bowl, it's no longer the money of any individual, it's the Lord's money. So our duty as church accountants, as ushers, in making sure that those money are brought to the office and safeguarded and counted properly, that is sacred. No? Hindi basta-basta yan duty. Because it is precious, we have to deal with it and handle it wisely. Wisely because ultimately we will be held accountable. Diba? Those offerings, no? We are all accountable. Of course, the ultimate accountability rests with you, the pastors. No? So we have to handle this matter wisely because it's important. It is precious, okay, and we will be held accountable for it. So as far as finances of the church is concerned, we have to deal with it wisely. That means we need God's wisdom, okay, on how to spend it, where to spend it, okay, we're not like other religious organization. I was talking, there was an event, no, and I was talking to an individual. Hindi ko siya kilala, pero syempre nagpakilala ako, and sabi niya, I handle a lot of funds, and some of them are funds of religious organizations. Okay? And you cannot, makwento siya siguro, nakainom na siya, no? O talaga makwento na. You cannot imagine how much money do they have. Yeah. So he start naming a few organizations. And that has $30 million in house in the US. It has billion in the funds, so and so forth. Sabi ko, wala kami dyan. Because dito sa church namin, pag may katulad yan, nabanggit ni pastor, he sold yung sa ano, 'di ba, yung sa yung property doon. Hindi pa nga niya natatanggap yung pera, sabi niya, ito yung gagawin natin, ito yung bibuild natin, ito yung ganito. So, whereas yung iba siguro, oy may pera, lagay natin sa bangko, invest natin sa labas. Iba 'yun eh. Ang motivation ng isa is let the money earn money. Sa atin, let the money of God results into harvest of souls. Di ba? Ilang church building yung pwede natin gawin. Ilang churches yung pwede natin tulungan. Sa Antioch conferences, meron tayong pera. I want it to be big. I want the pastors to be treated well. And I want to give them gifts. Yun ang una niya naisip. Sabi, okay to. So, ganun ang una naisip. Kasi, ganun yung church eh. We don't hoard God's resources. Other religious organizations hoard them. Siguro, to avoid taxes, nasa labas pa nga eh. Di ba? Or in accounts that are anonymous. Di ba? So, but that's not how we are told how the church will operate. Okay? We are given resources so that at the end of the day, we spend it wisely. Siguro nakakalungkot na, kunyari, nag-rapture. And then, ang daming resources na nasa bangko. Di ba? You let the bank use your money. Of course, you're paid interest. But di ba, those are earning material return, dividends. But the mandate of God, no, the design of the Lord is for the church to spend those money so we can reach out to other places. Di ba? I remember si Pastor Jun Nolasco, before he was sent out, it was I think a Wednesday prayer meeting. He was leading the singing and nasa lumang church pa kami noon, andun yung ano. So that was a prayer meeting, and somehow he was bidding goodbye na, okay, after this I'll be sent out. So Baguio yata yun. And he was leading the singing of the song To the Regions Beyond. Okay. Sabi niya, of course, we were told na kahit now you are not physically there, but if you give, you are as if physically there. Their growth, you're part of their growth. No? So same thing, when we give to missions, yung mga pera na yan, sabi ni Pastor, we spend, I don't know, 10, 15 million sa missions. We could have set that aside and invest in real estate and let it grow. Di ba? Pero hindi ganun yung mentality ng church na to. Hindi ganun yung mentality ni Pastor. Hindi. That is for world mission. Let's give it out. We should not hoard. No? So, yun yung isa sa pagkakaiba ng handling finances between a church and a business. Ang sa atin, business is the Lord's business. Ang performance metrics natin is how many souls got saved and how many souls remain. Yun ang dividend natin eh. And they in turn will produce the money that the church will have. No? Whereas sa iba, sa business, hindi, pera to, let it earns money, pay dividends. The metrics is, at the end of the day, the dividend that you pay to the shareholders. Okay? Sa atin iba eh, ang pinaka-shareholder natin, Panginoon eh. And you cannot give him dividends. He doesn't need the monetary dividends. Okay, what he mandated of us is souls that will remain. Okay? And yun din ang sinasabi sa amin ni Pastor, dapat ang financial support ng church manggaling within. Sa business, pag kailangan mo ng pera to expand, you ask money from outside. Either you borrow from a bank or you ask your shareholders to put in more money. Sa church hindi, 'di ba? Sabi nga sa ni Pastor, you dig your own well, 'di ba? And if you're diligent, of course, the Lord will have to tell you where to dig the well, 'di ba? You ask, Lord, saan mo ako papupuntahin? Where to dig your well? And if you're diligent in digging that well, you will hit the water. Diba? Siyempre kung minsan, you need some watering from outside. Alam ko nung bata ako, yung may poso, di ba? Kung minsan dry yun eh. Para lumabas yung tubig, maglagay ka muna ng konting tubig, tapos lalabas na. Parang ganoon din sa mga nag-start ng church, you get help from other more mature churches. But there'll come a time that you have to get your water from your own well and don't rely on others, no? I know some of the pastors, pag alam na nilang we are okay, sasabihin nila sa amin, okay na kami. You give your help to other churches. So yung financial support ng church will come from its own well. And that well is those people that you've won to the Lord, no? You diligently work with them, mentor them, especially in the field of faithfulness, in terms of giving. Ang kailangan po kasi sa church is not yung one-time, big-time giving. Dapat yan consistent, stable giving. Kasi katulad po sa church namin ito, when we started, wala naman po ditong millionaire givers eh. But the pastor taught us to be consistent. Na kahit na konti yan, basta consistent, lalaki yan eh. Even a song said, little is much when it's put in the master's hand, di ba? So, if collectively the people of God will do their own thing, depending on the capacity that the Lord gave them, the Lord will bless. And I've seen ordinary members here. When I say ordinary, hindi sila professional, but they gave a lot. No, yung recently she died, no, si Mrs. Fetero. I see the giving kasi ako yung church accountant eh. And I'm very much blessed with that old lady na talagang consistent siya. Si Mrs. Cabal is another one. Diba? Very consistent in giving. Kung minsan yung pera nakaano pa, talagang. But these are not big businessmen, but they would outgive even some of the professionals. And those are the individuals na pag nakita mo, na-challenge ka eh. Because they've been trained and been taught properly, that's why they can give that way. Kasi kahit na maraming pera, pero pag hindi ka trained, sa dami ng temptation ngayon, daming magagandang gadget, daming mga magandang mga appliances, you will be tempted to spend it elsewhere. So, lalo yung mga young people natin, medyo their environment right now is quite different. A lot of diversion, a lot of temptation. So if they're not trained and taught properly, yung resources that should be channeled to the church will be channeled elsewhere. Okay? And worse, baka mawala pa sila sa inyo. So importante po yan. Iba ho yung panahon ngayon. I can speak from experience kasi I have 4 kids. No? Yung dalawa, teenager na. Actually, nagtatrabaho na isa. So I try to have every Saturday our family altar. No? So I use that occasion to not only to study the word with them, yung impact paper namin, but I always have that family altar so that I can give them advice. Kahit na sabihin natin yung isa, kung minsan dito sa Columns, nandun kami sa Santa Rosa, meron namang Skype eh. So I use the technology para wala siyang ligtas. No? Connect ko siya, tapos nakikita ko siya. We will have Bible study where kahit nasaan siyang place. No? So, importante pong i-guide natin yung mga kabataan natin kasi they are the financial base of your church later on. But if they're not properly guided, they'll be used by the world. No? In terms of church finances, we are taught that the church fund we are taught about the sanctity of the fund. No? Yung offerings, they are consecrated to the Lord. That's why we have to be very careful in spending every penny of the church fund. Pag may mga temporary funds that we have, the pastor makes sure that it is invested in safe investment. Kasi di ba, sometimes may mga pyramiding scheme dyan, may matataas na return, and we are tempted, no? But the Lord will always ask the professional of the church also, anong palagay nyo dito? Okay ba to? And then we'll give a piece of advice. Kasi siyempre, hindi naman omni si pastor, di ba? He's wise, but he's not omni, and he knows that. Alam niyo omni? No? Omniscient. Di ba? So, he will leverage on the knowledge of his people. May kanya-kanyang competency yan. So, para walang blind spot yung pastor. But ultimately, the decision will be with the pastor kasi kayo yung under shepherd. But wag ho kayong makahiyang magtanong sa mga members niyo na sa tingin nyo, ito yung field nila. Okay? So, you draw inputs, insight, and then at the end of the day, you make a decision. So, ganun si pastor. Pag may mga undertaking, may mga investment na dapat gawin, may bibilhin to, he will gather the faithful members of the church, those that knows about the transaction, and gain their insights before he will make a decision. Dahil, syempre, hindi naman lahat ng anggulo kayang i-cover ni pastor. No? Dahil ngayon, unlike before, dati mga transaction simple lang eh. Ngayon, complicated. Maraming mga taong may gustong manloko. So baka mamaya matsambahan yung church, di ba? Resources ng Panginoon niya. So whenever there is a major expenditure or a project, the pastor will consult kahit anong oras pa yun sa gabi. So magpapakain naman siya pag masyadong gabi. May pansit at chicken. Then, we are also taught about to be accountable about the funds. No? Sa church po namin, as the pastor have said many times, we are complete in terms of the bookkeeping. Okay? Kasi, I think, isa ding responsibility ultimately ng pastor is, should be a good bookkeeper. Parang good housekeeping. Ibig sabihin, kasi if the finances are in disarray, that means baka merong nawawalang funds. Okay, hindi nyo alam, baka meron ding mga members na nakakakuha ng funds. So dapat nandun yung control. Although hindi tayo masyadong strict sa control sa church environment, although we should be. We base on trust and confidence. So nandiyan yung instinct kumbaga ng pastor na sino ba yung pwede kong pagkatiwalaan dito. But from time to time, you will have to check kasi those are church funds. So mapapansin niyo po sa envelope namin, maraming klaseng funds. No? Hindi nagmimingle yung funds. So alam ni pastor kung okay ba yung tithes, which is used to support the pastor and the full-time staff, yung love offering to support the congregation preacher and world mission, yung mga ganon. Alam niya kung saan in the red. Pag sasabihin niya, ito in the red tayo, pero kailangan nating bigyan pa rin yung world missions. Sige, utang muna tayo dito, pero ibalik natin yan. Sasabihin niya sa amin, church, okay tayo dito sa fund na to, pero dito medyo malapit na tayo mag-deplete. We need to give more in the world missions so that it will not be depleted. So, merong bawat fund may kanya-kanyang purpose and you don't mingle those funds. Otherwise, ano mangyari? Kunyari, kinuha namin yung funds ng world mission pupuntang ibang funds. Walang pang-support sa world missions and even the local missions. So, for every ministry of the church, may kanyang fund. Okay? Even yung help namin sa community dito. So, meron kaming special fund for that. So that the members know, okay, ito yung mga ministry ng church. Okay? Dito ko ilalagay yung offering ko. Di ba? Kung minsan, di ba, sa mga infrastructure project, nakalagay, this is where your taxes go. Pero hindi lahat. No? Pero at least sa church, alam namin, okay, dito, pag nagbigay ako dito sa fund na to, ito pupunta doon. Pag nagbigay ako sa fund na to, ito pupunta doon. It's properly managed. It is not mixed. Yung funds ni pastor, iba yan. Okay. Kadalasan sa negosyo, kaya na lulugi. Kasi kung ako yung, kunyari, ako yung nagnenegosyo, hindi ko mahiwala yung sarili kong needs ng business. So pag may kailangan akong needs o may wants ako, natitempt akong kunin yung pera ng business, pupunta dito, nalulugi yun. So parang din sa church yan, dapat hiwalay. Okay? So that you know whether are you over or under budget. Kasi pag halo-halo yan, hindi mo alam na ito palang fund na to, nadideplete na. Bakit kaya? Kailangan ko emphasize itong giving sa church na to. Baka nakakalimutan lang. Diba? Yung commitment, kaya parating every Antioch conference, kumukuha kami ng commitment just to refresh our memories kasi human nature, kalimutin. Tapos nadadivert yung priorities na kakalimutan na, uy, sandali, let's go back to basic. Yung commitment ko muna sa church. Okay. So, marami ho kami mga funding mga funds, separate funds that are accounted for separately. Yung pong integrity ng fund usage and handling is also another aspect. Okay, of course, alam naman natin na sa Bible, one of the temptation of the pastors will be yung tinatawag na filthy lucre. You can find that in 1 Timothy 3:3, Titus 1:7, 1 Peter 5:2. You're always as pastors, you're always reminded about that. No? Not even the pastor, but individually, we are reminded of that we should be cautious of that. So yung integrity natin before God is also measured by our integrity on how to handle His funds. Okay? Even without others knowing it. It's an integrity issue, di ba? Yung integrity natin sa Panginoon is measured based on our integrity with respect to handling His ministries and also the funds. Okay? So, it's between you and the Lord, di ba? And if you have integrity before the Lord, okay, the Lord will continue to bless. Kasi pag nakita niyang, yun ang experience ko, if He knows that you can handle these smaller funds, then He will let you handle the bigger funds. Kasi pag nagkaroon ng windfall dyan, at hindi ka na-train on how to use that windfall, you will go astray. Di ba? Baka pag jackpot ka dyan malaking pera, give up ko na lang nga itong ministry, okay na dito. Di ba? So, matrain dapat muna tayo sa maliit na bagay. Yung transparency of the funds is another thing. No? So, kaya dito sa church namin, marami po kaming records. No? And I know si Pastor every week would ask from the pastor staff, asan yung record? Okay, magkano yung giving? And the end of the year, sinasummarize yan. Tinitingnan, have we increased over last year in terms of souls that souls won, yung baptism, giving, diba? Anong klaseng giving? Okay. Kasi kasi tingnan din po namin yung giving. Yung giving ba is consistent o bumubukol lang dito? Okay. And we recognize those that are consistently giving. You have to know yung cash flow po ninyo. Mapapansin nyo pag sinamarize nyo yung giving nyo monthly or weekly, saan mataas yung giving? So pag alam nyo dito yung mataas yung giving, lalo na pag dumadating na yung first fruit giving, doon nyo rin itataon yung mga capital expenditure nyo. Di ba? Para nagmamatch yung cash flow sa expenses. So dapat, parang nagmamanage din ho ng business, alam nyo yung cash flow pattern. Para walang masyadong gap. Kasi lalo na sa atin, sa church, mahirap mangutang, di ba? Kasi alam nila, church. So dapat, alam po ninyo kung ano yung pattern ng cash, ng giving ng church. Kailan mataas, kailan mababa. So that alam nyo, maplaplano nyo kung kailan kayo mag-spend. Katulad dito po sa amin, hindi naman lahat ng panahon meron kaming cash. So that kung minsan bibili ng property, sasabihin ni pastor mag-negotiate kami. Pwede bang ganito yung bibigay namin, then the following 5 months from now, ganito, next year ganito. Kasi tinataon niya sa cash flow, yung sa first fruit giving. May mga quarterly giving kami. So, alam niya, because of the transparency of the records, he knows when the money is coming in, okay, and how to spend it and when to spend it. So mahalaga po yun, yung transparency of records. No? And then lastly, of course, honesty in financial management. Okay? before I end, just a few tips. No? If it will be good if you can prepare a church budget, spend within that budget. No? Diba? Ang mga sa corporate world nga, may budget sila. Ano ba yung gusto nating, aside from the ordinary, meron ba tayong special project? Okay, so that you can even use that to promote your first fruit giving. Oh, may special project tayo dito. Okay, diyan pupunta yung ating first fruit. Okay, so let's give and let's be part of it. Okay, know what is needed and what is nice to have. Okay, know what is needed and what is nice to have. Yung nice to have, oh, nakita ko yung church na to, may maganda silang projector. Nice to have yan, pero kailangan mo na ba ngayon? At kaya mo ba? Kaya ba ng church? So, let's cover first what is needed. Then, as the Lord bless, you cover what is nice to have. Diba? Kasi, we're serving the Lord and everything should be first class, no? Kung kaya ng church, di ba? But little by little, the Lord will bless if you know how to spend His money. Okay, focus first on what is needed, and then yung little by little, what is nice to have, di ba? Kasi kailangan din ng representation yan eh. You represent the church, so even you should have a good representation, and the members should know that. They should not, kasi ibang mga although unsaved, no? Sa kanila basta pastor o priest dapat mahirap eh. Which is not right. Di ba? Ang pastor yung chief executive ng church eh, and he should give a good representation of the church. Of course, within the means of the church. Di ba? Within the means of the church. So know what is needed and what is nice to have. Okay. Yung nice to have, we said yung, kumbaga, yan yung desires of the heart. Yung wants. Yung isa, need. Okay. Mali po na makover natin yung nice to have, pero yung need hindi pala, dapat unahin muna natin yun. Spend or invest for the glory of God, stewardship of God's resources, okay? And as I've said, be transparent, maintain records, be ready to report on the church's financial results. Pastors should not be afraid to teach biblical giving. Okay. Naintindihan ko po kung medyo na-intimidate yung iba sa inyo, lalo na kung mga members niyo ay professional. But hindi po ganun eh. Kahit professional o hindi, you're preaching the Word of God and you have to preach it as it is. No? About cheerful giving. Kasi yung po mga professional ngayon, businessman, if they're not taught the proper cheerful giving, yung, sabi nga, imbis na magamit sila ng Panginoon, magagamit sila sa iba. And later on, mawawala na yan. Okay. So, I encourage you, as the pastor has encouraged you, not to be afraid to teach biblical giving. We are also taught that pastors are not, pastors should be good role model of cheerful giving. Okay. I think the pastor has already expounded on that. No? This is one pitfall in church financial management when the pastor is not transparent in managing the church finances. No? Okay. It will breed doubt. No? And later on, yung doubt na yun could lead to integrity issue. No? So I know you understand what I meant. Yung dole-out mentality also. Lacking financial independence, because as a church, okay, of course, you need to be financially independent. Again, it takes time, and it depends on how you're diligent in investing as you dig your own hole. Okay, so these are just a few tips in terms of how to manage finances. To many of you, you've heard of this, but maybe you can also ask yourself, okay, I've heard of this before, but what have I done? Okay, how did my church benefited from it? Has there been a change, no, in terms of the finances of my church? Okay, and I hope that you've learned something, no. So as the verse that we've quoted, okay, we handle finances wisely because it is important, diba? Because it is precious, and because we will be held accountable, either in a church capacity or individual capacity. Okay. Thank you po.